everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's Rena, and today we are going to be doing a draw and chat. So today I have my own playlist. Let me check and see how loud this is first of all. For me it's kind of loud, but yeah. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. You can just let me know in chat. But basically, I've been working on this project here whenever this wants to open back up. There we go. And I'm just trying to complete it. I don't expect to actually get it completed today, but yeah, late draw stream. I'm probably just gonna do this for about like an hour. I kind of just wanted to work on it today, but I've been so behind, so yeah, hopefully I can get some things done. I did a lot of it off camera because I wasn't really sure how to approach this project. I'm also doing an art style that I don't normally do. I don't normally do a lot of art shading like this, so this is also very new for me, and that's kind of why I've been afraid to do it on camera. But you know, YOLO, you only live once. So we got Kiwi in chat, and we have Dodge Masasama. Hopefully this is not too annoying in the corner. I'm gonna put that there. A little playlist here. Is the volume okay? Hopefully it's not too loud. But anyways, I'm going to work on the outfit. As you can see, I'm currently have this like little skirt thing that's blue. Thanks, Sama, for letting me know. I only want it to be very short, maybe pleated in the back. I don't know, I don't really want to take away from the emphasis of the bow here, so I think I'm going to keep that the same. Yeah, she's supposed to be very pumpkin-y. I also think I'm going to do some stuff in GIMP. So there's these like little ruffles on the sleeve. I'm not really sure how to make that look prettier. It looks like custard for some reason to me, but they're there. Anyways, enough chitter chatter. I'm gonna need move my playlist somewhere. Bottom corner, I guess. Okay. I have my drawing tablet. And then I think there's nowhere I could put this that's not gonna be a problem. Here we go. Off this camera, off this view. It's easier. So I need the whole screen. Okay, so I'm working on this blue layer here. I'm also gonna change around a few things. So in this outfit, I have this like necklace thing here, but I want to add a blonde. Hello. My squirrel brain. And there is Ghost. Yeah, I want to add like a necklace or a three-dimensional component to this necklace. And in order to do that, I need to take this necklace out and put this on the dress layer. So I have to change a bit of order of operations. But anyways, let me work on the skirt. I need my reference photos. Probably gonna open on my perfect. So what I do for these a lot of the times, I make a whole Pinterest board of like things that I like. So for example, my Pinterest board kind of has like warm colors, a backpack, some very interesting components. I'll just kind of look through some of the stuff, get some ideas from them, try to incorporate it into my own style. That's basically what I do when I create this. So yeah, that's how I create my ideas, because I have not the greatest of imaginations, but yeah. I forgot that my outfit as well has like a very witchy vibe too. I forgot that I'm wearing a witch hat, and I have my little bat wings. I'm very, you know, on par with the theme. Okay, so let me get my reference. I also want to change the eye color. I have like squirrel brain right now. My brain's like all over the place because I have so many ideas, but not enough time. Open. I also am not the greatest at using Pinterest because I don't really use it very often, so I never remember how it works. Your word, your likes. Okay. Was I trying to figure out that? Okay. Now I can minimize that here and put this over in the corner. Okay. That only took me 30 minutes to figure out. Okay. We are working in that layer. What is this one? Okay, top layer. I'm going to use a like purpley color. I thought so. Sounded loud to me, so I'm not that surprised. 1 second. How's that? It was loud to me, so I was like, I'm pretty sure it's loud, but it could just be me. I'm ear sensitive. How's this color? Okay, so for the skirt, I want it to be like a ruffle kind of look to it too. God damn it, I forgot the stupid bow crap is here. So I guess I will draw on here. How about now? Can you hear it now? The struggle. The struggle is real. Yeah, some songs are louder than the others, to be honest. I don't really remember all the songs I put on. There's like 30 minutes of like loft-like music that I added to this. Perfect. I won't touch it. We're gonna leave it right there. Okay. I know this looks really ugly right now, but you gotta trust the process. It's like waves. You don't know if you're gonna get tackled. It's more like a drawn color with me because my brain has to do some mental gymnastics to figure out how this is gonna turn out. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with this area surface. I'm gonna zoom out. So it's a little awkward with around here because I have it a multi-layered section, and if I color over it, it messes up the bow because I have a linear burn on there. So it could kind of get a little washed out and mess up the pigments of that. Okay, so I need to go back to my blue color and then do my little outline on this layer. Just so that way my brain can understand what in the heckaroonie is going on. Okay. I also need my model to move over slightly so I can kind of understand what I'm looking at. Oh, I love that it doesn't align right. Same. So fun. Okay, we're gonna this outline. It's so small. This oval-y section here. And then, because it's a rumple or a ripple, it kind of looks like that. Kind of like that. Sometimes I find it looks better if I draw on the actual character. I'll go up by like 3 instead. I remember why I didn't, because there is that stupid bow piece, so that's why I'm struggling. Okay. So the program I'm using, when you start from scratch, so let me just exit out. Whenever it wants to exit out. There you go. So basically you're given a nude character that has like very minimal features. It usually looks like that, minus the socks and shoes. It might be actually wearing like a t-shirt or something. Let's put on some clothes, make her look somewhat decent. So on average, you get a character that looks kind of like this. You can add in assets. And then there is the hair section that you can change the different hairstyles. You could add in your own. There we go, so that way it blends better. And then the face is usually one of these generic ones. And then you can kind of pick through them, and then you can go through the different eye sets, customize the shape of the eye, the width, the sizing, and everything. This one, I didn't really do too much with the face, to be honest. I just picked one of these eye sets, and I was going to come back to it later. But the software makes it very easy to use, that if you plan on making an avatar, so for Sama, I know that you have a project in mind, you could probably try this software and see how it works, if that makes it a little bit easier. And then you can take the same model, because it already comes pre-rigged, and then you can put it into Blender and go off of that. So that gives you a bit more flexibility with having to not do as much for the rigging, because all avatars, they're all pre-rigged to be able to walk, move. The hair is the only thing that you have to do manual rigging, but they all can move. So all the bone work is all done, which makes it very easy to do. That's why I like this software, because I was trying to make obviously a character for myself, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, and it helped a lot. So yeah, Vroid Studios, they added like different photo booths. You can go through the different animations, which is kind of nice. They have these there. Then they also have like different ones, more masculine poses. And then you can also do custom posing, but the custom posing doesn't have any animation. It's just for posing for pictures and stuff. So I know there's some people who use this software to like build comics, because you can do that like for post-processing. There is a section where you can do like comic outlining, and then you can play around with the color ratio, which makes it really fun depending on what your project is for the future. So yeah. And then it's very customizable. You have your outfits, you have your eyes, it gives you different eyebrow sets, irises, noses, and then you can go down into the makeup. As you can see, this is what I'm currently wearing. And then you have the one that I made for this character. But they also come with a lot of presets that you can just pick and choose from, which is really cute. Well, yeah, back to my current project. So yeah, my current project, I was just trying to create like a Halloween themed outfit. Every year I kind of make a new Halloween outfit. So this is the one I'm working on right now. And then the newest feature that they added for Vroid Studios is the hat section. So they added this cool ability to add like witch hats. If you saw my last video, I kind of demoed out the different types of hats that you can add. They also have cat ears and tails. So honestly, Sama, I think this might be what you could possibly use. It's H. H is in the chat. But yeah, they have cat ears, tails, hats, different kind of hats. The only thing downside I don't like about what they did with the accessories section is that they didn't allow you to transfer your pre-made hats into your newer project. So like, for example, I'm just gonna save you right real quick. I know I'm going on a tangent. I don't mind. Back to models. Okay, so for example, the hat that I'm wearing is the one that I made in that same character that you just saw. And I really liked it, but I realized that I can't just like move it over. And then like hats like these, I played around with like the ears and stuff, made a duck hat. I made a frog hat, but I can't easily move those hats to my other character. If I want to move them, I have to literally create it and then just transfer the skin or the color map textures, the UV map, I should say, which is kind of annoying. So I kind of wish they did change that. But you know, the developers ever look at this, you know, maybe you should consider making that a little bit easier for your people that like to use your software. That'd be nice. Thanks. All right, so now I'm gonna actually get back on track. My squirrel brain tangent is over. Yes, they could just reuse, recycle. I wish they would, but you know, they don't. Okay. Must focus on task at hand. The struggle. It was under dresses. Okay. Sorry. Okay. We are on this little layer. Focus is not my middle name. There is no focus to my brain. Squirrel brain forever. I don't really like this color, so I'm just gonna erase that real quick. Yeah, okay. What if I do like a purpley color, but make it darker? Here, 3. You're welcome. Hopefully that explanation made a bit more sense. I go in more detail in my actual YouTube videos, so if you're actually curious about Vroid Studios, I would suggest checking out some of my other later videos where I go into more detail about it. But overall, I mean, it's kind of that in a nutshell. Okay. At least now you can kind of see what it looks like when you're actually drawing. It is way easier to draw with a drawing tablet than it is to draw with a mouse and keyboard. So I'm using, I don't even know what kind of drawing tablet this is. It's just like a black slab, no screen. I have to use my monitor to view what I'm drawing. In a way, it's kind of nicer that way because for posture purposes, now I have to actually look at what I'm doing and not strain my neck. Versus when you are normally drawing, you kind of look down a lot and then you cause yourself some neck pain. Okay, so we got our first little roll thing. I cannot draw a straight line to save my life. That's what the erasers are for. So I have this screen here so you can just see the avatar better. And then this one, I'm just using it to do some fine-tune lines. Okay. See, my problem is I'm like, where do I put the folds and the little rings? I kind of want it to go a little deeper. Yeah. Trying to make it look like ruffles, kind of like how I did with here on the bottom. I really suck at it. I think that was my goal to try practicing for this project. Every single time I do a project, I try to practice a new technique that I've either learned or I'm trying to teach myself. And this week's challenge, or month's challenge, I should say, really, it's this month's challenge, is ruffles. I suck at making ruffles. So this is very different from what I normally do. Does that look right? That looks weird to me. We can make it work, right? No, I don't like it. Yeah, okay, that looks a little better. The annoying part is trying to line these stupid lines up, and I can't really draw on the character. Maybe on back here I can. Okay. Got that one side. Let's see if I can do the second. Let's do the important part, the middle. It's the most important, and then we can add in some textures and colors, and you can see what that looks like after. There we go. So usually when I'm drawing, I'll just play a YouTube video in the background and let it run so I have something to listen to. And it's pretty much why I never really record myself doing these, because doing these speed creations, like I used to do them sometimes, but it takes so long to edit. You have to watch the whole footage and speed it up by like times like 12. Oh, you bitch. You had to tilt. I don't like it. I can get kind of, why does it look so lumpy over here? What is happening? Why are you lumpy? Oh my Lanta. Wow. Okay, maybe I draw this on the actual model because it's ooh. It's getting on my nerves. So yeah, you can draw on the character, just certain areas. It's a little weird when you do that. There we go. So like here I can draw on the model. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this part up here. That's my other dilemma. Not sure what I'm gonna do up there. Okay. All right. And I'm just gonna move around some things. Make you tiny. And then my reference photo. Okay. Oh, I did not know where I was in time and space on that one. Okay. That's fine. That's doable, right? Okay. So with that being said, okay. So now with coloring, I do want it to have like a blue outline at the bottom. So I'm gonna go here, blur, motion blur, roll, blur tool. Because I want it to have a blue outer rim. We'll add more detail later on. Right now, just make the outer parts visible. Did I color the blue? I think I did. Oops. Also gonna make this a solid brush just to make my life a little bit easier. Okay. So I probably colored the blue in random sections. Yeah, I did an outline originally in the second layer. I think that's what it was. When you take it all away, it looks really ugly. It looks very questionable. I'm just re-outlining everything. You have a great night, Sama. And have a fantastic weekend. Sleep well, sleep dreams. The sweetest of dreams. Okay. I blur my purple. That should look better now. Yours has one of those good pens drawn. It's easy to turn pages on real paper. a lot harder to turn a digital screen. Yeah, exactly. When you try to draw on these things, it's so weird sometimes. Like my brain was like, you need to turn the paper around. I'm like, how do I do that? I have to do it a few times in order, like, it took me a while to get used to using a drawing tablet, because my brain was like, what is happening? What the heck? If I add my blue back here, ooh, but I would like it to be like a misty, like that, and then we blend it out. Maybe a little bit larger. What made this dress pop at the bottom here is that I used a lot of different colors. I also did an ombre effect where it got like darker. Maybe I should do the same concept with the purple. So maybe like a little bit darker. We gotta go into the draw. I will put a mirroring for this. And then zoom out. Maybe not that far out, but whatever, I'm already here. Okay. And with that being said, I do like this darker purple, so I might just try to incorporate it in different areas. So like here. Okay. Oh, shit. I forgot I was mirroring and I was drawing on everything. Turn that off and do that all over again. So I do have like a go back button on the tablet itself, but I just use the mouse and keyboard for that. Just easier. Okay. So I did not go to school for art. I'm definitely all self-taught. So that's why a lot of the times I get lost. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But what I find helps for me is to actually watch other people who are really good at it and be like, oh, that's how you do that. Okay, cool. That's what that looks like. That's what that's supposed to look like. Oh, I never knew. And go based on that, cause or else I'm just like, I don't know what to do about this. Help me, please. And most of the time I'm just trial and error. You just draw and pray. And then sometimes it looks good and then sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I like to have my avatar on screen, but I don't often do it because if I live stream for like an actual gameplay, the encoder gets overused and gets tired and she starts bitching at me, so I just ignore it and I don't put my avatar on screen. But other than that, I will try to put my avatar on screen if I'm recording something, because it seems to be fine then. But yeah, that's why I love these things. They're great for that. Like, you can have your avatar on the screen, you can chit chat, you can actually see kind of what my reactions are. Although I do need to re-edit my cosmetics for my facial expressions, because if you notice, she kind of just like goes into like a scared kind of reaction quite often, and some of it is partially because my lighting in the room isn't super bright, and I'm wearing glasses in real life, so it has a harder time to see my facial expression with the light glare from the glasses. And then the other part is it's kind of needs to be resynchronized. So for example, this is the software I use, and I also have a hand tracking, so my leap motion is actually right on my chest, and there is this lovely little bar that I use to tinker my facial expressions, but sometimes she gets a little messed up anyways, so it's a little weird like that. Like, I think also the other reason is like my mic is kind of in the way. That's probably really loud, but you know, it's there. So if I sit kind of like behind it, then it's there, but it's kind of weird. It's just playing around with positioning of this mic and what it could see my mouth do and what it could see my hands are doing. That's kind of what I have to play around with. That's my life as a VTuber. It's the fun role that we chose to do. Okay. And that was my rant. I hope you liked it. Alright. Let's see how this bad boy's looking. So if I zoom out, it looks like it has some depth in there. I'm thinking of doing another pop of color on the bottom half, so maybe I should make it like the lighter orange as in that like section down there. It will give it a pairing, kind of like how I did with this one over here, making it purple. Yeah, there's a lot of software for like AI usage and stuff like that. But this one that I'm using, VC Face, is actually created by a VTuber. Funny enough, there was a VTuber who was like, you know what, I really like VTubing and the whole concept that Japan has got going on, so I'm gonna make my own thing. So they did, and they made it free for everyone to use, and I love them for it because it made my life. Because there are other ones that you can purchase, but your girl doesn't want to be spending all that money on that, especially because I don't get paid by YouTube making these videos. So I try not. I forgot. That's fine. Whatever. I like erased it, forgetting that that was going to show the bottom panel. But you know what? That's fine. I'm not mad at it, actually. I kind of not mad at that. Not mad at all. Okay, so how about we blur out this area here, and then we're gonna add in our details again. It was this purple. I do like how it goes into here. It would help if I had my draw tool out. I do like how this part was blending in here, so we're gonna keep that like that. And basically I just go into areas that I feel like needs a little bit of a touch up, erase little tiny bits, but mostly it's just using that blur tool. Okay, figure out where I would like depth in my model. Now, because I did add this panel up here, I didn't draw in the lines like a numbnut. I don't know what to do with this part here. That part is a mystery to me. I'm not really sure how to go about that part. My first interest or intro to gaming for me. A memory that I had. Ooh. Like Mario. I would say, growing up, I never had any of those cool gaming consoles. I had family members that did, but I didn't have them. I'm just gonna replay this playlist because I can. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. So when I was a kid and I would visit my family and they would have like the new Xbox. I remember like my uncle had bought his son an Xbox and he was like, "You're gonna try it before he does." And I was like, "Yay!" So that was when I got to get introduced to a lot of those types of games. So like most of the time I played, like I had a Nintendo 64 and a Game Boy, but I mean the Nintendo 64 was my brother's. The Game Boy I had eventually gotten, I believe, myself. Like my parents bought it for me. Obviously I was way too young to buy it for myself, but I mean like I had one for myself. But Nintendo 64 was my brother's. The PlayStation we got after they came out with the PS2. So my first games that I really played were probably like Mario for the most part, and then Pokemon. I lived off that because the Game Boy, and then the Nintendo 64, they had Pokemon Snap. That was great. That was one of my favorites to play. But my all-time favorite game on the Nintendo 64 was Mario Party 3. Mario Party 3 was the shit. Love that game. And then my brother sold it, and I was so upset. He sold it probably when we were in our like 20s and like early 20s, and I was like, "No, why? My childhood, how dare you?" Don't take that away from me. But yeah, I mostly played when I didn't have those things and I was playing at my cousin's house. He had the Xbox, so we played a lot of Halo. Prince of Persia was a great one. It was one of my favorite ones. I don't know a lot of people who actually had played that game, but I loved that game. That was fun. And then as I got older, a little bit older, my cousin was like, "You need to play Kingdom Hearts." And I was like, "What's that?" And then I got into that and I was like, "Oh my god, you just got me addicted." So then I started playing that a lot. It was great. Loved that game. Fantastic. Actually, I'm currently replaying it on my own free time. I wasn't going to record it, but then I decided not to. But yeah. And then I loved watching people play video games. I think mostly because I'd be watching my cousins play, and I really didn't have the skills to play it, even though my cousin would offer me like, "Do you want to play it?" I'm like, "I feel bad because I'm going to ruin your winning streak." So I just opted out of wrong layer. I opted out of actually participating in a lot of gameplay when I was a kid, just because I just felt guilty for ruining their winning streak and dumb crap like that. Which, I mean, they were just happy to see me play, to be honest. It's so funny, my cousin went from being like, "I hate this child, why are you born?" and then being like, "Oh my god, she likes playing video games, she's amazing. Have another child like that." Oh yeah, as a teen, playing the PS2, great times. It's so crazy to me to think about how games have changed so much. Like when a new gaming console came out or a new game was coming out, the thing that you would be excited for the most was to see the graphics and how much they've improved over the years. Each year was just like a scale up, and you're like, oh my god, it's going to look so real. I feel like kids nowadays aren't going to have that same feeling because games now are so realistic that it doesn't give them that same, doesn't scratch that same itch like we used to get. And I kind of feel bad for them that they will never know that feeling of being like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what the graphics are looks like when you saw the old school like Tomb Raider and those triangle titties that she had. Oh my god. You're like, wow, this looks amazing. And then they came out with like the newer one. She was like actually had real shaped up to her boobs, and you're like, oh my god, she has titties. What? But yeah, it's just so mind-blowing how different games were back then to like now. What was your favorite PS2 game that you could think of? For me, I would say my favorite one is probably Kingdom Hearts. That one. Or Metal Gear Solid's also up there too. That one's fun. We had fun. I played that a lot with my brother. You didn't like the GameCube? I didn't really like the GameCube all that much. My cousins had it. I didn't really play it. It wasn't really my niche. It was alright. It was just not my thing. So I didn't really focus on it. I think this part is a little too... I forgot. This flippin' Blair thingy. It's annoying as hell. I wish I could just delete this thing, because I'm not using it. It's just there. Just sitting in the background, waiting for me to draw on it accidentally. Every time. Right? Kingdom Hearts? Mind-blowing. It was so amazing. I played, the shit out of that game. And then I'm replaying it. I didn't know when the third one came out. Actually, I did. I just didn't have a PS3. So I was like, well, one day I will buy a gaming computer and I'll play it on there if they ever bring it out on the PC. And then they did. And I was like, yay, my prayers have been answered. So then that's what I'm doing now. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna look at it from afar. I just want to see how it's looking. So the details there, it's kind of popping. We need to add a little bit of color for underneath the skirt. So the liner, underlining liner, I'm thinking this orange. Whoa. Let's go with this one. And it'd help if I looked at the avatar. Okay, so yeah, with the third Kingdom Hearts game, I have yet to play it. It's still sitting on my PC. I'm going through them in order just so I can remember what it was like playing them, because I'm old now and I forgot, and I've also had way too many concussions and I can't remember certain details, and it's been like ages, so there's that. That's very bright. Do we want it that bright? That's very bright. Is it too bright? Possibly. I'm like questioning my life choices right now. That's very freaking bright. Okay, what if I tone it down just a smidge? You know, it's still bright, but just not as, you know, a little less. Is that better or worse? Psh. Beats me. Still remember my grandma coming to visit at a time, and we visit Circus City, and she told me to pick up a game. Those are great times when you have family members that like also help you with your gaming addiction. Ooh, another game I would say that most people really loved, if you didn't mind getting up and moving around, was DDR. I was a DDR queen. My mom had bought me, after we got the PlayStation, she bought Dance Dance Revolution, the Supernova, and I was so happy that my mom's pretty young. She's like only 20 years older than I am. And when I was a kid, in my teens, early teens, she bought that and we played for hours. It was very confusing the first bit because I was like, I don't understand, what the hell am I supposed to do with my legs? Like, you're telling me to move my feet, but I don't understand this order that you speak of. But then after, you're like, oh my god, this game's amazing. And then you go into like arcades and you see people with like gym bags playing this game, and I'm like, wow, I thought I was into it because I have it at home and I play it like every day. Like before track practice, I would go home and play that for like 2 hours and then go to track practice for like another 2 hours. So I was very active. But then you see those people playing that game at the arcades and they go all out for that. I was like, golly, I don't think I could keep up with you guys. I mean, I got to expert level. I still have it at my parents' house and I kind of want to reset it up and play it. And then part of me wants to bring it here at my home and play it just because I can, but I also live in a condo and I don't want to be that one person who's like stomping the whole time I'm playing, and people who live underneath me are like, why is she like this? Who is this bitch who lives upstairs? And it'd be so annoying. But yeah, I absolutely love that game. It's so much fun. I would say that's one of my favorite physical games. So for the PS2 favorite games, I would say is probably like Kingdom Hearts. I really like the second one. And then Metal Gear Solid. I can't remember which one, but yeah, one of those ones. And then, yeah, that. And then I would say DDR. DDR, hands down. Phenomenal game. Be sweating. Got a full ass workout playing that game. Totally worth it. And then for the Xbox, I'd say Halo. And I mean like Xbox, the original one. I'd probably say Halo. Just because I have so many fond memories. Like when I was a kid, we would travel to New York to visit my aunt and my brother and I, and it'd be like during Christmas time. So you're supposed to be doing like family things, Christmas, yay. But there's my brother and I playing that game for hours. And I think our parents just let us do it because we don't have that at home. We didn't have any consoles at home. So it was like the only time that we got to play video games. We were pretty good kids where we didn't like spend a lot of time on the screen. We didn't really watch that much TV. I watched anime when I could. But yeah, it was just like mostly just chilling outside, doing sports. So whenever we did get to go and visit family and they had consoles, our parents were like, whatever, yeah, go ahead, play on the Xbox the whole time. When we call you down for dinner, just make sure you come down and actually participate, or when we have to go out, you're gonna actually have to leave the house. We're like, okay, fine. But yeah, other than that, we were just like glued to that screen playing for hours. And it was great. Love that childhood. I definitely would keep it the same in that aspect. For PS1, I don't know if you've ever played Legend of the Dragoon. That was actually a pretty cool game. I think that probably came out before the first Final Fantasy games, so that's probably where they kind of got that concept from. But that game was funny through the transitions. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but that game is a blast as well. Totally recommend to check that out if you have never seen that. Oh yeah, Dreamcast. Oh yeah, that too. I forgot. We had one. It just got stolen when I was a kid, so I didn't really get to play it that much. So I don't really have that many memories. Someone broke into our house, stole that, Mortal Kombat, all the other games, and then The Little Mermaid. So didn't really get to play that very long. Okay. Trying to add some highlights to this piece here, just so it doesn't look so bland. You know, spice it up a little bit. Keeping it real, keeping it spicy. I don't even know if it's worth it. Some of it. Yeah, it's kind of worth it. Yeah, the Dreamcast. I wish I got to play more of it, but yeah, that didn't last very long. I vaguely remember it. But yeah, Dreamcast, I remember a lot of people were like, oh my god, that's amazing. And I wish I could join in on that, but I can't. I cannot. Oh yes, Tomb Raider. Crash Bandicoots. Yeah, I still have that too. Also, yeah, I kind of forgot about that game. I have that as well. That was really fun. Crash Bandicoot. I would recommend that one too. That's a good first game to get into. Crazy, a lot of sound effects, but a lot of fun. Maybe we should add a darker orange on the outside. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. There we go. I was like, that kind of looks gross. I don't like it. Don't really like the color. I just need it to have like a shade. And then you know what's annoying having to do this is like you have to add now shading to the rest of the art out here. And my brain is gonna be like, what the F? How do you do that job? Me no compute. But yeah, if I were to continue picking out different games, actually I have different games that I want to show for this channel. I do like a lot of horror games. I do like playing the horror games with friends just because obviously it's more fun to see someone else's reaction. But some of them are comedy gold when you don't expect the jump scare and you're just like, oh my god. And I played a couple of them that had that, and I was like, man, I see why people like playing horror games. But then there's times I play them, I'm like, I really don't want to play this. Like, Blonde playing Resi 7, that game stresses me out. I can't do it. I watch people play it, and I'm like, ooh, I'm stressed out for you. I can't. Not how you have the patience. Okay, now that we have that layer, it's so weird because it comes off they're too much of the same color. Maybe I could do this more of a blue color. Maybe have it faint blue. Maybe that can work. I think it blends in too much. It's too good of a blend. I blended well. Too good for the gods to even handle. Yeah, how about we go to a bluish purple? Yeah, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. What if I do that? Instead of going to darker, I mean, I'll keep the darker color there. I just want to see if I did that as a highlight instead. I think that would probably differentiate the two layers. The RPG games are pretty good. What would your favorite one be if you were to pick? Let me... This stupid flippin' thing. I hate this stupid... the bow thing is so annoying to me. It gets on my nerves every time. We're gonna use this as a highlight. Okay, cool. Yep. Right about there instead. Okay. So now we have our highlight. We have also our shadows. I'm going to zoom in. Shrink this a little. So I could add it in here. Ah, yes, yes. I think, Miles, or if you've seen his channel, but Miles is playing, Chrono Trigger. I've never played that one, but it reminds me of like old school Final Fantasy. The artwork looks like Dragon Ball Z, so I could totally see the vibes. Highlight. Maybe we can add some stars. Yeah, the modern approach to it is, I don't know. I kind of fell out of love with Final Fantasy. I feel like they're doing too much. To say the least. I feel like they're just doing too much. And I will always love Final Fantasy, but I don't know. They're just doing too much for me. In my opinion. Maybe we could add some stars. I just want to see what that... Yeah, okay. That makes it pop out way more. That was way better of an approach. I like, because you can also see it from a distance, and it makes it look like it's actually rippled. Wow. Gorgina. Okay. If I blur in here. And, okay. So, as I continue this part, I'm gonna try to figure out what I'm gonna do with the little belt here. Maybe erase it, I don't know. I have to figure something out because there is a gapping in between, so I kind of want to make it look like it's linked. As for these sleeves, I have these cross kind of things. I think I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna recreate the same ruffled texture, which I have on one of these layers. I don't remember which one, probably this one here. Yeah. And then dye the color to like a blue color and put them under. I think that will look better. And I think the reason why the pumpkin looks a little weird to me because she doesn't have any cleavage right now. So hopefully when I finish this whole project, it will have that. I will be posting this character on my Booth site. So if you are interested in purchasing this character for your own accord, she will be there. She will be there. Okay, as for the rest of this, I think I should probably pull this in a little bit. And then I'm gonna make it a starry pattern. So what I mean by that, yeah, I will check out that game. I was watching Miles play it. One of my friends, he's playing it right now, and it looks pretty cool, that same game. Right now I have quite a backlog of games that I'm supposed to play. I have a few that a couple of dev had sent me that I've yet to even respond to an email. Just had a wedding to go to. It's just been life has been lifing. That's the moral of the story. Life has been lifing, and it's just been a little crazy. But other than that, when I get time, I'll definitely check that one out. Okay. So, let's see. This can go down that way. I'm also just trying to figure out how do I want some of this stuff to fall. Okay. Because you have to also think about it in a wider view perspective. You want it to pop, but you don't want it to look muddy. So a lot of it is just like color, and this is why it's kind of boring doing streams of this, because it's not like you're going to see that much. You get to see me color. Yay, coloring. But it doesn't really feel like that much is happening until you like zoom out, and then you're like, oh wow, yeah, it does look like something happened. There's a bit of a dramatic effect with the ruffles here, yes. Gorgina. Okay, so, stars. What I was thinking... actually, me do it in a separate layer, just so if I don't like it, I will scrap her. But basically, I'm going to take a light color, very small brush size, maybe like a 2, and then kind of just make little dots. Make it look a little glittery just on the highlighted areas, and then kind of taper it out. Oh yeah, I'm still going. I'm still here. I'm still drawing. I know I said I was going to do about like an hour, but my partner hasn't come home yet, so I'm like, well, I still have time. Have a good night, Blonde. If I am free tomorrow, I might join you guys in whatever you play. Static! Yes, I did make them for test pilot. You know, you'll probably really like that feature. It'll be a very interesting feature for him. They smile back at him every single time they bounce around. Cynic, since you're here, what would you say is your first gaming memory? My first gaming memory, I was saying, is probably with like the Game Boy, playing like Pokemon. And then for console wise, it's probably Halo. I think when the Xbox, the original Xbox came out, it came out with like this skateboarding game. Super random. Oh yeah, I always forget about Mario. That was probably up there too. I always forget, you know. Mario's there. Just it's so, to me, Mario's now basic. It's so generic because he's just never dies. He's always there. But yeah, that's probably Pokemon for me. I actually kind of like this starry effect that we are giving. The blue highlighted section. Oh, yeah, there's that too. Pong. I forgot. I did play that like a million years ago. And there was like Jetpack Man that used to be on the computers at school. That was also really fun. This is so annoying. I hate doing this part. If I can make this any faster, I would. But then if you try to go too fast, it just drags it. And I don't want it to be dragged out. Yeah, Jetpack was great. I went to like a really interesting school growing up where it was like, it was very small, very, very small. It had 2 classrooms. You had grades like 1 through maybe 3 in one room, and then 4, 5, 6 in the other room. And I don't remember how the hell we learned anything, but I do remember playing the Jetpack game a lot, and that was great. And then we didn't have a gym, of course, because we only had 2 classrooms, and there was a church next door. So we would play like dodgeball in the basement of the church in the winter time, so we couldn't go outside. I hate this stupid part. So annoying. Just drawing stupid dots. I mean, it looks great, but it drives me bananas. Oh, I actually didn't know that was a thing. Mario teaching typing. That was actually a thing. I played a lot of those like random games that would come out of the cereal boxes. I remember Disney was very popular, and they came out with well, Disney's always popular, but they came out with a Lion King one, and I was a Lion King fiend. I had everything Lion King. So when they said they were going to put a Lion King game in a cereal box, I was like, oh, your girl gotta have it. I gotta have it. So my mom was like, okay, we're gonna get the damn cereal just so you can get the stupid game. And I played it many times, and I don't remember what the hell it was. I remember there was Kovu and Kiara from the second one, and you had to like try to get across without being killed in the stampede or something. There was like a bug hunt thing. I don't really remember all the details, but those were good times. Okay. Maybe I should erase that one. This, there, here. See, I never really played the actual ones that they came out with. I've only played the bootleg ones they put in those cereal boxes, so there is no embarrassment needed. The only Aladdin and all that stuff I played was in Kingdom Hearts. And of course there was like those old school games where it's like, I don't even remember, it was like some jet plane thing. There was those kind of games. Used to play that a lot. Didn't really like those ones. I never really got into the extreme strategy games too, because I found them kind of boring. And also, with me being dyslexic, anything that had a lot of reading, I was like, yeah, fluff that. We don't need to do that. Why stress myself out? Now, I don't mind it so much. Like recently, if you need a book recommendation on a horror book or like a mystery kind of situation, I would suggest checking out, where is it? I have it on my desk. Strange Houses. Strange Houses is such an odd book, but totally worth checking out. I actually only found it because I was watching some other YouTuber talk about, she does like book recommendations all the time because she reads a lot. And my goal this year was to try to read a new book each month, and then I got stuck on one book that was kind of boring, so I didn't really make my quota. But each month I probably recently read at least one book a month. But this book's really short. Let me pull it up here. Strange Houses. Yeah, this book, worth it. Without giving too much away, you either get this version if you live in the UK, but if you live in like North America, you'll probably find this one. But it's by a Japanese artist. Sorry, I'm looking at these houses and they are strange. And it's amazing. It talks about, I'm not sure if it's like a real scenario, to be honest. I think it might be real, but it starts off with showing you this blueprint of this house, and then actually let me just show off the blueprint itself here. I hate that it's so small. It's like $21 Canadian. But anyways, they show you this blueprint of this house, and they start off being like, what do you think about this house? Does anything look strange to you? And then you kind of go through this rabbit hole. I mean, like, well, no, I mean, like, it's a house. If you don't know blueprints, whatever, it's fine. But then they'll go into detail of why it's strange. And then you see the second floor, and you're like, wait a minute, why is it like this? So, totally recommend it if you haven't checked it out. Totally worth it. Actually, this had my reference photo on it, so let me just slide it back over here. Whoa. But you're right about here. Okay, so our dress so far, looking shimmery. I love that because it's like little tiny dots. It gives you this like shimmery effect when you twirl her around. So this part probably won't move that much, but it gives that effect that it would be very shimmery and moving around. And then I should probably outline this. That's really what I should do. I really should outline. Did I outline the other one? Actually, I didn't. What I outlined it was with a shading color. Maybe I should just keep it like that. That sounds good. less work for me. And then there's like this part that I did not finish. And I don't know what to do about this top part component of her stomach. So let me just erase part of it. Maybe we can do like a little creased moment situation here. I need whatever color this is. That is blacker than black. Oh, you know why? It's probably that dark. Because it's in a linear burn section. Oh, okay, well, whatever. I didn't think that through. What if I just do it like that? Oh my god. Maybe. I'm making this so complicated. Yeah. No! Fuck. I actually... okay, whatever. We already messed up. I don't know what to do about that. Well, that song has finished again for the second time around, so that is my cue to let me know that I need to technically wrap the stream up, just because I've been doing a lot of sitting, and I should probably get up and move around. Other than that, I will let it play a little bit longer, and then, yeah. My brain always forgets what button is what. So, about this, I did a layer here, and I didn't finish this thing, so maybe I should finish that part and slowly get to wrapping this up. I've totally lost the plot of what you guys are talking about, but I will read it after I finish these lines. Maybe this was a 3. It's way too narrow. That explains why it didn't show up in certain areas. Ah, poops. So it is a linear burn. So it's gonna make it darker. So it kind of makes it black. And I didn't really think about that. What layer I was drawing this on. But it's too late. I'm not fixing it. It's gonna stay like that. Okay, so now, with that being said, that is like... yeah, something like that. Maybe one day I'll make this playlist longer. Oh, wait. Oh, God damn it. I think I mirrored it from here. To save myself from doing a crap load of work, I mirrored. Okay, there's a lot of lines that I don't like, which is this one. the nice part is that you can just erase it. I don't remember if I had another one. Yeah, I do. And then, see, I can use a different software that projects my avatar, that makes it show me drawing. The only thing I don't like about that one, so that one is V Magic Mirror, and it's pretty good. The only thing I don't like about that is that you don't really get many options for facial expressions. It's kind of, you keep one, it's kind of static, versus this one I'm using right now. You can actually change facial expressions, and I absolutely adore that. Of course I would ruin it, you know, just don't press buttons. And final line. Okay, so with that being done, because it's not the most important part back there, I'm debating if I would like to do like this bluish color and carry that all the way through to the back. Maybe. I did like this is supposed to be like a highlight color, but if we make this really quickly, I just want to keep some of the shading. Yay. Okay, and then do the same with the other side. This is supposed to be here. Now I'm really booking it with the coloring. Oh, I should also make this like 100%. And maybe not. Like that. Okay. Now feather that out. Maybe this darker shade in between here. And then why I don't know my purple shade. Is that the same? Yeah, sure. I guess. Yeah. Right now I'm just quickly just throwing the color on there because I just want to get it on. And then I do have like a different function that I can do instead of having to erase things, but sometimes I'm just really particular. That's really the end result of that. It's just like I'm very picky. And right now I'm just trying to slap on the color. Because technically no one's seeing back here. But in case if someone does buy the avatar and use it for a game like VR chat, you would want to make sure that the back part is 100% done and doesn't look weird. Wow, I forgot to change that. Because it can look a little weird when you don't do all the details, all the bells and whistles on the back as you do as the front. So trying to create some form of symmetry that's plays the same role as the front does is kind of what I'm trying to do, but without having to go into extreme details, because it's not as important. Well, at least I deem this not as important back here as it is in the front, because your eyes are mostly focused on the front panel, especially if you do plan on using it just for like Vroiding purposes. You're not really gonna see the back ever. Your view would literally just be this right up here. So I don't really care too much what's going on in the back. Although I have this like really cute bow here, and as I say, I don't really care about what's going on in the back here. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the back of the dress either. I kind of just have it there. Oh, did I? Oh, I did. Where is that? Oh, I took it off. Right, I'm dumb. Okay, actually, well, I'll come back to the skirt. Let's look at one other detail before we end. Save my pumpkin dress. A lot of it has to play around with like layering. So I have this necklace that I want to add, but I don't want it to be in this layer because I want to add a different thing. So what I will do is just take this Vroid, this one, next, yeah, sure. Export that in the same spot. Burn. Okay, and then I will just remove that. Exit without saving. Okay, cool. We're gonna go to none. We go to the dress. Okay, cool. And then with the dress, we're gonna add that on. This layer. Import. What did I name it? Neck something? Neck strap. Yeah. Now what happened? Oh, whoops, wrong dress. Was that in the... Ooh, this is the annoying part. I never remember where things go into. Okay, so it's not in that one. These are all the same. Bodysuit is up here. Okay, maybe this one? Wasn't it in like a dress setting? I don't think it's this one, but I'm gonna put it in here because I just want to see what it looks like. Oh, maybe it was bodysuit. Who would have thunk it? Okay, so we got that. I didn't take the rose. Or did I? No, I didn't. Import my linear burn color. I have too many things. Okay, linear burn that B. Okay. And then let's go back to overwrite that. To the necktie. With the bow. Okay. Sorry. I was getting a phone call. It's my cue to leave. That's really what that is. But let's just add. What happened? Okay. I'm so confused. What? Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, what the flip? I was like so confused to what the fuck that was. Okay. One layer is oh, it does. If you hover over, the area in YouTube that says like, you can also press that button. And, or if I say you should like and subscribe, it should animate. And if you haven't done so already, you should probably do that. Let me just take this one last thing. We're gonna add it into the other thing, and then I will call it a day for this. So let me export flower dye. Generations to generations, she'll be wearing this strap around her neck. And then yeah, sure, overwrite. We're not even gonna use it on here. The reason why I'm taking it off of this one is because, like I said earlier, I want to add a different things to make this pendant on her neck a bit three-dimensional. So that's the only reason why I'm taking off this spot and putting it on the other. Right. Ah, poop. I actually don't remember. Is this in another layer? Probably. Was this in the same thing? I don't know. Let's try this one again. Import really quickly. What did I call this one? Flower something? Flower tie thing. Nope, not there. Nothing's ever in that one. It's always in the bodysuit layer, isn't it? Okay. Import. Okay. Just gonna overwrite. We're gonna move. It's loading. It's thinking. She's thinking. And then move. Okay, so now we have this on this layer. It's just gonna make my life a little bit easier. Something to work with later on, and I'm gonna change the coloring of that to match the purple and orange aspect. But right now, that is it for today. We got a very shimmery second layer of the dress. I absolutely love how shimmery that looks. Let's go into our animation here real quick. Turn off comic and go to our menu here and have her doing her little walk. So that's what the dress looks like currently. And that is Vroid Studios in a nutshell for those of you who've never seen this software. If you were ever thinking of creating your own character, it's very easy to do so with this software. As long as your PC is able to run it, it's not that hard. And then there's a lot of people who sell cosmetics and stuff like that on Booth, so if you're not the most creative like myself, some days I'm not creative at all, you can just find their Booth site and then purchase things. Or if you feel like venturing out and trying things for yourself, you can by the way, you can make your own thing. As you see clearly, that's what I'm doing here, and she's making me dizzy. But it's cool software. You have a lot of different interesting features. I absolutely love it. And this is my Halloween project for this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you didn't already, press that like button, and I hope to see you in another Vroid video in the near future, hopefully. Maybe I will do another stream with completing this character. It's kind of boring watching this type of stuff, at least I find, so I don't often like to show this as a stream, so I will probably do some kind of like showcasing of some sort, maybe like a little short or something like that. But if you're interested in seeing more, let me know, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good night. Bye.